subbing in the cut with it. Please, none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lives, all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, sink ships, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got...
Hey, it is Friday and we are back for this phenomenal show, because this is going to be a great as well as needed show for many others. So thank y'all for tuning in. If you have not, please like, share, and subscribe to this awesome channel so that you do not miss when we are live and doing our thing. So, you did your government name today. I looked over, I was like, oh, he got the government.
Oh, that was an accident. I forgot this. Anyway, yeah, there it is.
Okay, I mean, I just was like, okay, government. All right. So we got DJ, of course, is present with us tonight. Looking like an orange.
You know that's my color.
And of course, the always awesome, and we always love having her here, Larnika.
Hey, yeah, how y'all doing?
Doing pretty well. Glad to see your smiling face.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
And the oh so quiet in all his black, looking definitely like a black sheep tonight, DA.
What it do? What's happening? What it be like?
We walking various hats now on the show. We're gonna switch up hats every week.
I'm thinking about it.
I could start wearing mine.
Something different.
Okay. Just curious. We done went from shirts to hats.
Keep you on your toes. I still rock the HBCU shirts though.
Okay.
Got one on now.
I just had a flashback. Remember that time you got that medium shirt?
Man, look here. You ain't got to talk. You ain't got to bring that up. I'm still mad about that shit.
Like I said, when you said the age, that's the first thing that came to mind was the medium shirt. And you had that shirt on that day looking like a sausage. I
asked for a 4X. They gave me a 4X in Korean size. No, Koreans are small, so
yeah. That was one for the books right there. I was like, ooh, don't move too much. They're gonna split. You're gonna be naked on the show.
Oh wow.
And they did.
It was little. You know what I mean? It looked like he had a toddler shirt on.
But the crazy thing when you order stuff from wherever, I don't know if you're intentionally ordering it from overseas or it end up being from overseas, it seems like the clothing sizes are smaller.
Yeah.
But the shoe sizes are bigger.
I was in Korea and they all that shit run small. So like a large will be a small.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I say a 4X, it came out to be like a 1X.
Wow.
So I had already paid my money, so I squeezed my ass in that bitch.
He had a whole lot of them made, and that's.
At that time I only had like 5 made.
I've been upset. I had to give them away as gifts or something.
Yeah, I had 5. Yeah, 5 made, and then after that, I was like, you know what? I found somebody else, and they was just like, okay. They hooked me up.
Yes, they did. They did a good job after that. Definitely. So, how was everybody's week this week?
It was a week. It was a week. It was chill. It wasn't too major. You know, some pretty good news that's going on. So yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
This week kind of tested my patience.
Mm, that's what we just gonna stick with. That was a little.
Yeah, it did. It tested my patience and kind of had me irritated. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Irritated.
Okay. All right. Well,
This
uh,
weekend,
you said what? You said what, sir?
I said it's the weekend, so I'm chilling.
Yes, it is. Yes, it definitely is. Amen. I live for the weekends in a totally different aspect now. Definitely. How about you, Larnika?
This week was just it for it being a short work week. It felt like extremely long.
Hmm.
I say
It
that
was
all
just,
the
and I didn't even work like I went to the doctor with Wednesday. I was off going. I went to the doctor, so I only really worked 3 days, but it felt like the longest 3 days. Just from sun up to sundown, it was a lot. But it is the weekend. Amen to that. I realize the older I'm getting, how important naps are. Naps are so important. It's important to take a nap. You know, I
Definitely.
and if I don't have my nap in between me being at school and before I do anything in my practice, I'm cranky like the kids. Like I need a nap. I need that. Even if it's 15 minutes, I
I
just
don't
need
know.
that.
15 minutes will make me mad. I ain't gonna be able to do 15 minutes. Ain't gonna be able to do that one. But I feel that. I definitely
I,
feel that.
I squeeze it in, if I'm like, oh, okay, I got 15 good minutes,
A little
session
power
at
nap.
6. Yes. Yes. And if I don't get it, oh Lord, it's like I'm ready to cancel everybody. I don't know.
I feel that. Most definitely. This was I'm with you, and I say this all the time. The 4 day weeks seem like they last longer than the 5 day, and they go so much slower. So I really
Yes.
don't like the holiday thing. I'll be like, man, it's gonna be a long week, and it just drags. So I'm like, ugh.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'll be all the way over that one. But definitely, I'm loving the weather change. Oh, this is my
Amen.
season. I love the weather change. It feels amazing
Yes,
outside. I
indeed.
just want to be outside because it feels amazing. So, yes, I love it right now. Got to get my
Perfect
pull on.
time for grounding.
Yes, it is perfect. Good time to
Mhm.
actually go walking now because it's not a triple digit weather here.
Yeah, that
So
part.
definitely, definitely. So tonight, as we are talking about weather and the changes in the weather, tonight's topic um, coincides pretty much with the seasonal change. So, as we know, this month is Suicide Awareness Month. Tonight's topic is seasonal affective disorder. Um, if you have any questions, please feel free, or comments, whatever, please feel free to comment and we will get to those. Because again, we do have Larnika here to assist us with navigating through this much needed and very important topic tonight. So, D, you want to start with DJ? You want to start with tonight's first question for Larnika?
Well, before we get into the questions, let's probably give a better understanding of what we're talking about. So, can we break down the topic and kind of like what it means in more detail? Is that okay, Miss Larnica?
Sure, sure. Okay.
That's why I asked you, so that could be the first question, sir. See, pay attention.
Are you gonna let me
Okay.
do what I do, or are you gonna? I'm sorry, Larnica, for my
You good?
host interrupting. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so with seasonal affective disorder, it is a type of depression that occurs during the same time every year, which is typically during the winter months. And so when you get into more than likely November, December, January, maybe even February, you may have feelings of being sad, empty, hopelessness, loss of energy, fatigue, difficulty concentrating, changes in appetite or sleep
Mhm.
patterns, social withdrawal, irritability, and weight gain. Because comfort
Wait a minute.
food, baby, I think my season started already. Okay. I'm like, well,
So,
dang. Because typically, you know how they say the bears hibernate in the winter. Maybe the bears have depression,
so
but
they woke
typically,
up.
you're eating and sleeping. I think ideally, because if you are going through some of these feelings, these symptoms, you're more than likely looking for comfort food. Gumbo is gumbo season. It's chili season. It's whatever with some gravy and some rice season. And we're gonna eat probably two cups, maybe 3 cups of rice with whatever else with the gravy, the gumbo. If you eat, cornbread with your chili, whatever you're putting in your chili,
Yeah.
you add that to it. And so typically, and if you're tired and fatigued, you're probably not exercising as much as you would, and so
True.
these pounds can sneak up on you, child. They just sneak up on you like a thief in the night. Okay. So you
Okay.
gotta be
So
careful.
yeah. So seasonal affective disorder is synonymous with seasonal depression, right?
Yes.
Because this is the first time I've ever heard I guess actual correct term, the seasonal affective disorder. So that's good.
Mhm.
So and we're talking about the weight gain and all that stuff. So along with that, what are some ways to probably identify it in someone close to it or ourselves? Because sometimes we'll slip in and won't realize that we're in that state. So how can we identify it? Are there any particular ways?
Well, if you have been more active, the summertime is summertime, everybody out, the days are indeed longer. The sun is out longer. You can be 8 o'clock at night, the sun's still out. It's still some light out. Maybe probably 9 o'clock. And so you may find yourself doing more, actively involved, everything. And then the really what's happening is the earth is moving further away from the sun. And so there's a vitamin D deficiency that happens. We
Mm,
don't realize people be talking about, oh, y'all looking at the zodiacs and all this here, but there's some stuff. I mean, that affects us. Whatever going on up there astrologically with the sun, the moon, all that stuff truly affects our mood. And so if
mm,
you feel like you're tired, I remember a friend of mine was saying, man, when the wintertime come, I just don't want to do nothing. But no, they didn't even say wintertime. They said when daylight saving, when it gets dark early, I just want to come home from work and go to bed. Well, I'm like, you're fatigued. You're fatigued because that vitamin D ain't D'ing like it normally does, and so that's one of the signs and symptoms if you find yourself depressed. Now, a lot of times people think it's just the holidays, and it could be the holidays. It could very well be if you've lost someone, if you're single, everybody got the matching pajamas, and I ain't got nobody to match my pajamas, whatever the case may be. People will attribute it to a lot of things, but really and truly, it could very well be the seasonal affective, disorder,
yeah.
the depression, seasonal depression. It could very well be that. So you just, if you're self-aware and you're paying attention, it's like, well, during the summer, I used to get up at 4 a.m. and I would run and I'm eating, broccoli
Yeah.
and salmon, and now I done made a big old thing of gumbo, and I done got all this other stuff going on. It's just being self-aware. If
Okay.
your loved ones are irritated, irritability, and a lot of times we think, oh, well, school started, the kids, whatever stuff going on. We think it's other stuff, which could be, but a lot of
Mm.
times, it could be that seasonal depression as well.
So, DA, you've been in this field, what, 20, 25 years or so, man. What are your thoughts, my brother?
Yeah, she hit on a lot of the stuff too, but we also got to take into account that when we are naturally, we are programmed. That's what I should say. We are programmed to have mood swings. Because think about it. What's the first thing once it start to get cold? What's the first thing everybody talk about? Oh, I'm finna work on my summer body. I'm finna go work on my summer body.
I'm sorry. You got a point. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so we already conditioned like, okay, now it's time to chill out, and then we finna have all this fun time and all this other stuff. So we already got it in our head, like this is the time we're gonna go into our cocoon and come out. This is a butterfly. So our bodies and mentally, our mind starts to tell our body, okay, this is our recovery time. This is our rebuilding time. So you start to slow down, not realizing that your ass is like I said, you're slowing down. You mentally, physically slowing down.
Kind of like that bird hibernation. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that you chose that word. Um, yeah. Good. Yeah, that's good. TK, what you got? Yeah. Damn. I didn't even
So
think about it
with
like that,
that,
bro.
as we talk about daylight savings starting to come in, so of course it's starting to get darker earlier. How are ways that we can still try to get that vitamin D, since it's getting darker earlier?
I think if you get you some vitamin D supplements, you'll be able to have those things. I went to a stretch, like a stretch therapy place where they
I
stretch,
love them.
and the guy had this light therapy thing he was trying. I can't wait to go again. We'll see how much it costs. But they do have light therapy as a option of things that you can do if you can try to get more sun, get out there in the sun. That can be helpful, and just try to stay active. What Da was saying. I think in essence we are wired for that behavior. We are wired for that. We as a society decided that we're going to go full throttle every season and everything. But if you really, really, really go back, for the planters and the harvesters, there was a reason why, daylight, we didn't have a daylight saving. It was like it's wintertime, ain't nothing growing, everybody chilling.
Yep.
And if you, whatever your condition was, if you got fat or you did whatever in the wintertime, when a harvest time come, you gonna sweat that out because you'd be in the field picking the cotton, whatever you was doing, whatever the case may be. Doing it.
She hitting on the head.
We decided, well, we need more production, so let's do the daylight saving time so the people can get out there in the field, because they didn't have no street lights up for the people to be able to see what they picking. So let's get them out a little earlier, so they can work, so we can make money. But if we had to go in our natural state of how the animals doing it, but of course, if a man doesn't work it, he don't eat it. So I don't know how they can give us some.
They got it twisted
income during the winter.
They got it twisted. They said if you don't work, you still eat.
Okay, and that's what society
and
has
you
done.
Eat more.
I don't know of any other countries or cultures that just shut it down necessarily, because everything is so economics. You got a production and all this other stuff. But I think what happens is perhaps we are fighting, and I didn't went real deep, so forgive me, but I think perhaps we're fighting against our natural order of design of how we should have been doing, and we're depressed because I'm trying to do something in a season that I ain't really supposed to be doing that.
You're supposed to have stored up for this season.
Yeah.
Okay.
That part.
Because if you really look at daylight savings time was started because of the railroads. That's the history behind it. Was started because of the railroads. So they wouldn't lose money as they traveled from east to west. So, but if you go back further than that, if we take it back to like they say the Stone Age, once the sun went down, everybody was in their cave chilling. Once it got cold, what happened? Everybody had they mink coats on, sitting in the cave chilling. Wasn't nothing moving.
Okay.
So yeah, so we are conditioned, wired to operate in that nature. But with technological advances, ooh, that's a double point scramble word.
Oh, yeah, for real. We need some big words tonight, boy.
But with that, we as a society of people just said we just gonna work all year round. And that's where I believe that's where a lot of our issues come from, because I'm gonna go back to what Lanika was talking about the light treatment. When I was stationed in Fort Lewis in Seattle, Washington,
Okay.
it rained 9 months out the year.
Wow.
The suicide rate was so high out there. But what they would prescribe folks to do, they'll tell them go to a tanning bed, go lay up go receive the ultraviolet lights, because that boosted that vitamin D deficiency.
Wow.
And it was funny because when I first heard it, I was like, ain't no black people finna go down there and do all that. We already got a natural tan. But once I start to read and understand the chemical reaction that happens from it, I was like, well, we need to go ahead and get up under that ultraviolet light and do that.
Okay, so quick question. So y'all both mentioned, like, you know what I'm saying, suicide, and y'all both kind of work with kids in different aspects. You know, DA, you who coach, you know, Mr. Arnika, you so dealing with kids, right? Are there any particular signs that y'all may look for that may be like some suicidal, or like any behaviors or anything like that?
The thing with kids are so impulsive, you know. But ideally, the same thing as adults. They're giving away possessions. Maybe they like to play football before, and now they don't want to play football anymore. They enjoyed doing certain things, and they stopped doing it. Kids will talk about if they believe in heaven, they may reference afterlife or something a lot.
Okay.
And if something happened in their household, that's the main thing, you know. If you have, and everybody doesn't have to necessarily be suicidal with something in their household, but if you look at these different factors, they may have trauma in the home or whatever has happened in the home. They're definitely feeling the effects of the seasonal depression, even though they're young. You would think, oh, they're kids. They feeling it too. You know, in their songs sometimes. Now, some of that stuff they listen to, child, I don't even know. But sometimes if they're listening to some of that a bit more, what are they watching? You know, stuff is just so dark. They got a lot of dark stuff that kids they can easily access YouTube or whatever stuff. So looking at the behavior change. You know, was my kid active? They played in sports or did the cheerleading or whatever they did. They was real active, and then now they're withdrawn. They quitting the sport. They're not, you know, maybe a different circle of friends, maybe, because we used to call them emo. The emo kids tend to find each other. And they do. I don't know what they're considered. I still call them emo, but you know, those kids tend to find each other. And they usually find each other because they're dealing with the same stuff, and they're figuring out how to cope the wrong ways together.
What you think, DA?
So I've been on the bad side. I have to do okay, I'm just breaking it down. In the military, once there's a suicide, we all have to do what's called a psychological autopsy. So we have to basically go from the time of the event back and try to find out different clues and different things. And a lot of things that Larnika was saying, that's across the board. That's in kids and in adults.
Okay.
The thing that we noticed in the military when it comes to the kids, like because we had to deal with the dependents and stuff too,
Right.
is that they have what's the word? They have different ways of reaching out, of crying out, crying for help. Like she was talking about the music. Now they might have a music change where you be like, I didn't know you like that. Or
Ah,
it might be something as subtle as they were like, well, sometimes I just want to go to sleep and not wake up. And you think, oh, you just lazy. But that's a cry for help. Or one of the big ones is social isolation. Is when all they do is go to school, come home, and go in their room.
okay.
Like it's not even like you try to talk to them like one word answers and stuff like that. And those are different signs that we found are common across the parameters of the kids when dealing with kids. Those are some of the things. And like as parents, and I'm talking as a parent, we
Yeah.
tend to be like, okay, well, I just want to give them space, and that's not what you want to do at that time. Once you start seeing those type of changes, that's not what you want to do. You want to start pressing more because they're dealing with something they don't understand and don't know how to express, and they have made up in their mind that the best solution is to not be here no more. Oh, and another one too. This I forgot about this one. This was a kicker, not a kicker, but this happened to 99% all of a sudden. There's a change for the positive.
Ah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
all of a sudden it's a change for the positive. They might be going through all of this stuff. Then the next thing you know, hey, how you doing? Da, 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 da. You're like, okay, they done came through. That
So
is a
that's those
dangerous time.
extremes that we're talking about. Those.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
dangerous time because like I said, 99% of the time they have made up their mind what they're gonna do.
And when they're gonna do it.
Yeah. So that pressure of thinking about it and contemplating it is off. So now they feel free. They're like, oh, and that's what everybody on the outside thinking like, oh, they having a very good day and da 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 da. And like this, the same comment I heard on every autopsy I did was, I just talked to him and he was in a good mood and joyful and laughing and da 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 da. I don't believe he would do this. I didn't think he would do this. That's always been a comment every time we interviewed somebody after one. It was the same thing. I didn't think he would do it. We were laughing and giggling and everything.
Okay. I was actually going to ask about ways to be intentional about combating those thoughts, but y'all kind of touched on it. I don't know if there's anything else that
Shit.
y'all. Go ahead.
Hey, keep it 100. Ask him.
Okay.
Just come out. Don't pussyfoot. Don't beat around the bush. Hey, you thinking about killing yourself?
Yeah.
Like,
Constantly.
yeah. But see, here's the now I'm finna go down another rabbit hole. Here is where we have to learn how to take our emotions out of it. Because what tends to happen is you know it, you see it, but how your delivery comes off as condemning. Like how you may say, I know you ain't thinking about killing yourself.
Right.
And then somebody like, no, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. Versus, are you thinking about killing yourself?
So instead of an accusation,
Yes.
man, make sure it's just a genuine
A
concern and
genuine
question.
concern. Yes.
Okay. What do you
And
think,
it's
Mr.
like,
Rodriguez?
we as people, we don't realize it when we do it, especially when something is deep and it hits home. We don't realize that some of our biases come out at the wrong times.
Gotcha. Ronika, you want to add?
I think it's important to show support, like I can say parents of color seem to be the most what are you doing? They most condemning, if you will, if they find out their kids are suicidal or have been self-harming. I'm taking your phone. It's like, okay, y'all don't do that. What does that do? The phone didn't cause whatever's going on. Is a deeper issue. And so I think educating yourself to know signs and symptoms, different things to say, hotline, stuff like that. Because the reason they go to these different friends or sites that's dark is because it seems welcoming. And if I try to talk to my parent, and my parent always raising sand, and if I say something, they're dismissing my feelings or making me feel bad or punishing me because they don't understand why I feel the way I feel. And I probably don't understand why I feel the way I feel. Most people, children or adults, don't understand none of the seasonal depression stuff. They just know I was good, and all of a sudden my mood. And that's why I said we try to find, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. They try to find tangible things to to be able to put with, okay, this is why I'm feeling this way. But I think if you have open dialogue, now, you can ask somebody, do you feel like killing yourself? Are you suicidal? They may answer you, they may not. But I think if you come off supportive, I think if you create that supportive environment when you start noticing these things, instead of taking the door off the thing, where they don't have no privacy, talk to them. I want you to be able to come and talk with me. If you're feeling a way, how are you feeling today? Maybe just start with those questions. How are you feeling today? Kids are moody. Kids are moody. That adolescence is hell. Okay, so they probably will want to go in their room and not talk to nobody because they're irritated. Their body's changing. Stressors at school, stressors in life, probably stressors at home. They don't want to be bothered with nobody. They find peace and solitude in their rooms. You know, so welcome some kind of, let's have a family time where you can have dialogue, but not like you're putting them on the spot. And I think, they parents be ready to whoop their children because they trying to hurt themselves. It's like, yeah, that's probably why. Don't do that. But I think educating yourself on it is important. And I think being able to reach out for help, even for the parent or the friend, the loved one, if you have somebody that you suspect may be suicidal or going through some kind of depressions or something that you really don't understand, but you want to be able to help them, there is nothing wrong with seeking therapy for yourself, because that's a lot for the caregiver, the family member, whatever, to be able to deal with a relative that's going through that. Just because a kid might admit, yes, I am suicidal, it don't stop there. Because they're suicidal today, it don't mean, oh, tomorrow I feel great. If they doing it, be concerned. Like DA said, if all of a sudden I'm good, that was just a phase in my life, they lying, and they probably preparing to get on out of here. Kids are impulsive, so you could get that, and they could be upset, and then bam, they went took something, got something, whatever. So it's kind of just pay attention.
Okay.
Pay attention, be supportive.
Gotcha. TK, you got anything?
Yes. So as we talked about, if somebody was to come to you and say, hey, I am having suicidal thoughts, you may not live in the house with the person. It may be a friend, co-worker, or something like that. How can you support them and support them without not smothering them, but still being able to like check in, like, hey, you all right? That kind of thing.
You can give them some reason. You can let them know that I'm here for you. You know, um, have a safety plan. Are these just thoughts, or is there any action behind these thoughts? Do you have a plan? Any ideas? Like, no, I just feel like life just hell. It'd be best if I just wasn't here. And just offer a listening ear, but definitely some resources. Because like I said, you can only do so much. You're human. You got your own shit you're dealing with. Not to say that you don't care about your loved one. They need to get professional help. And most people, if you tell them go get professional help, they might get offended. So as a way of like introducing it to them, Like, even if you've been in therapy yourself, maybe disclose that. But I talk to the therapist about my stuff, or maybe my cousin go to therapy. There may be something to consider to help you. Even support groups. They got support groups out there for lots of different things, but mainly to have resources, even to get with them and say, okay, if you feel. And what we do with the kids at school, we have like a what is a self-care agreement where they have like 3 people they could call, 3 things they could do to try to clear their mind of the thoughts, because a lot of times they're contemplating the self-harm, even cutting. They're thinking about that because of whatever's happened. And they, for those who are pretty much self-aware and don't really want to do it, they almost talk about it as if they're like taking a drink or some drugs. I'm thinking about it, but I don't want to do it. I know. And so we come up with a plan for them, somebody they could call. Because a lot of times, if you're going through it, if it's thoughts, you can talk to somebody, whether it's the 988 crisis line, Trevor line, your friend that's available. And with the plan, you can say, hey, I'm here for you in the event that I'm not answering the phone or text. Call this number. Don't think I just don't want to talk to you, because people can be so fragile. You, like I said, you got your own life. Maybe you done went out. I don't know. You had your few drinks, you're drunk, and you sleep. And your friend trying to call, and it's like, damn, they not answering the phone. Nobody love me. Why am I here? But if you could set up something like, okay, I'm going out. If I'm whatever, call a 988, call a whoever number, to have that available, and try to encourage them to seek that help. You can't make them go, but encourage them to get some help. Even go with them. If you, hey, let's go to the whatever group. There's a support group I see, or Nicolaus, LPCPL, LC got a bunch of support groups out there. Let's go. Let's just, I'm gonna show it which, and let's go. Let's get you in there and see how it goes, or something like that.
That's one of the reasons why I asked you when I emailed you that earlier. Asked you about the support, that we could definitely put those options out
Okay.
for those situations.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know for me, when I was in a a kind of altered headspace, I just say it like that. Um, what helped me was just having somebody to just simply show up. I mean, it wasn't even about what was said. It wasn't about what was done. Just being present, that helped more than anything. And a lot of times we would just be in the same presence and not say a whole lot of words. But for me, that helped me, just having someone to show up. Yeah. Yeah, you want to add to that one, my brother?
Nah, she hit a lot on the head. Like in the military, like we do shit overkill. So when somebody express it, like you said, we basically walk them through the whole process. You sit there and talk to them, like, hey, blah 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 blah, and then we escort them, take them to, like, hey, check this out. This above my wheelhouse. Let's go see somebody, and we'll physically take them over there. And I hate to say it, but I'm glad I can say it. I've done it so many times where it's just like, yo, look, I know this is my job, but right now, I think you need to see somebody, like, personally, so you can really vent, like, get that stuff out, and just literally get them in the car, take them where they need to go, take them to the ER or whatever, and sit there and let them get, once they get situated, and then and then the follow up also too, like, you can do all of that and forget about them. I say you just made the situation worse because you helped them through this time, but you left them. Versus
And
the follow up of taking on, hey, you all right? You good? Did they help you out? Did they do this? Did they XYZ? Blah 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 blah. And
Okay.
like Larnika said, hey, once you're done, yes, you need to get counseling too, because that's, especially if it's somebody close to you, that's traumatic, because you start getting into the what if. You start having a what if thoughts. What if you didn't answer? What if this happened? What if blah 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 blah? And it'll wear on you.
There's a statement or a question in the comments. If I have thoughts, how do I calm those thoughts?
If you have those thoughts, the main thing you can do, you can call that hotline at 988 and be able to talk to somebody. They're not going to come pick you up. So a lot of people be worried about that. People going to, find out I'm thinking this way. It is anonymous, confidential. They're not going to put your business out there. Talk to somebody, talk through it. What you also can do is have a safety plan. What are some things, some coping strategies, some healthy coping strategies that you can utilize to help take your mind off of things? Because the same way we have intrusive thoughts, maybe about anything, is similar to those thoughts. If you're not having an action plan, you're having those thoughts that you don't want to have. You can listen to music, you can paint, but we tell the kids draw and they start drawing all that stuff, and that's how people find out what's really happening. But whatever is pleasing to you. I know sometimes when you're depressed, ain't nothing pleasing. And so that's where you have to try to find something. A lot of times what we used to do, we don't like anymore, and then we begin to feel bad. I used to do this, I used to do that. Find something new. Find something new. If it's a matter of going to Walmart and get something from the what's the arts and craft type of thing. I ain't an arts and craft person. Child, just get you some puzzles, something like that. But something, get up, get out of the house, go outside. Go outside. Maybe ground yourself. Grounding techniques are good. What are 5 things you can see, smell, taste, different things like that. Ice water is good when we have anxiety, getting ready to have panic attacks. Something that'll ground you, because the thoughts are looming. They're looping. You don't want to have the thoughts. And the more you think, I don't want to have these thoughts, you're going to think more. So trying to change your thoughts altogether. Journaling. Write it down. Write down whatever you're thinking. Have a ritual. Whenever I begin to feel this way, I'm going to journal all of those suicidal thoughts. And then I'm going to burn it and, let it go to God. Whatever the case, if that's your thing, you can do that. Find a healthy ritual. When I begin to feel this way, maybe I'll meditate. Maybe I'll find some different music or something and meditate on that. Something inspirational, something positive. Because I think with depression always messes up when we think about the past. In the past, it was this happened in the past. We got to find something, even if it's music you listened to in the past, what was some happy stuff? If I have a favorite song the nostalgia is like, man, the good part of it, the good side. When these bad stuff come in, you remember all the bad stuff that'll mess you up. You remember some of the good times, some of the good stuff. Like, man, this song, I remember this. Or even watch some old movies, that was pleasing to you. Things that are pleasing to you. But definitely, if you feel like you can't trust yourself to be alone, get somebody. The 988 number, one of those hotlines. Phone a friend or go to the hospital. It's okay to go to the hospital. It's okay to be evaluated, because that way they can understand what's going on. You can understand what's going on. Being hospitalized is to keep you safe from hurting yourself. It's not a punishment. It's not a making you seem like you're a bad person. It's to keep you safe until you can heal from this situation that you're going through.
So you said some healthy coping mechanisms. Well, I've heard some things, and I don't know if it's true or not, but does like sex or intimacy or anything, does that help or no?
What can happen when we talk about people with sex addictions, people think it's because they have sex a lot. No, it's because they're using it to cope. The same way if you drink alcohol or smoke whatever you're smoking, because you're coping with something, you can become addicted. You can become addicted to sex. I'm feeling suicidal. Let me go have some reckless sex, and that ain't good for nobody.
Right. Even if it's by yourself, even if it's a solo flight,
it's gonna turn into the same thing. It's gonna be the exact same thing. I feel this way, so I'm gonna do that. That's why we get fat. We eating the food.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, what? I mean, this ice cream and it's chocolate. Because I'm just going through it. And then next thing you know, we've trained ourselves. Get the ice cream and the chocolate, the ice cream and the or whatever, whatever your vice may be. That's why I say something healthy. Because we will instinctively get the bad stuff in a minute.
Right.
Because it make you feel good.
Make you feel good.
Make you feel good.
Comfort food. That's why they call it that. All that stuff we don't need to be eating. But if you, maybe go for a walk. If you can walk, if somewhere you can walk,
Yeah. So you say comfort food, right? Okay. So yes, be mindful about what we eat and about what we consume if we're feeling a certain type of way, correct?
Yes.
So what are some good things to possibly eat? Is there like a certain color food or a certain type of food, like no processed foods, to try to cut back on the sugar, stuff like that?
Yes. If you retrain your brain to eat apples or bananas or some oranges, some green leafies, something like that, a salad. It could be done. Now, I ain't tried it yet, and I might just fruit. Okay, because I will go get that ice cream. When I go get my salad from Jason's Deli, I'm getting that ice cream. Be like, is the ice cream machine working today? Okay. But if we're mindful of what we're eating, if I know I had a bad day, I just want to sit in here, lay on the couch and eat. What you could substitute something. If you like certain things, if you go get it, they got all kind of fatty stuff in there and greasy, salty, whatever. Make it yourself. Make a healthier version of it. For a while, I was eating these baked potatoes. I had to have me some baked potatoes, but then I went and got me some vegan butter, vegan sour cream, a smaller potato, did some things to it that was a little healthier. Now the potato itself, child, still starch.
Right.
But I felt good because I tried to put a healthier version to it. Even with ice cream, perhaps if you got, what is that? What is a coconut? They had like the coconut milk ice cream. It's like it's not dairy. That non-dairy ice cream or even yogurt, something that's a little healthier. Maybe if you got you some Greek yogurt instead. Now I'm trying a Greek yogurt. I'm trying to eat that. And I didn't put granola in it that actually tastes good. And so instead of going to Jason's and getting that little thing of ice cream with my salad, I got me some Greek yogurt and I can eat that and it's healthier. It's good gut health. If it make you poop, you're going to start pooping. You're going to feel all right. Okay? And so just substitute. Now, is it wrong to have some of that stuff in moderation? We get moderation messed up. So I wouldn't even tell myself, I can have it in moderation. Moderation end up being every day. There's a moderation. But healthier, just substitute some things. If I want to eat chips, what can I crunch on that'll give me that oral fixation? That's that same thing. Instead of having chips, maybe I get some sunflower seeds without all that salt on there or something. Or maybe some whatever kind, maybe some peanuts or walnuts or something. They got a lot of fat in it, but it's an alternative to the chips. Walnut chips. I think I'll take the fat from the walnut versus the trans fat in the chips.
DA, what's you got, my brother? You want to add?
Yeah, well, the first thing I was gonna say about the question that you asked, what are some things to do? First thing is to understand that how you feeling is okay. There's nothing wrong. You're not broken. You're not fucked up. It's okay. That's just human nature. You at a point in your life where life is harder than you expected it to be. That's the first thing. And to have suicidal thoughts is not a bad thing. It's a way your body is telling you, hey, something's not right. We're experiencing something that we're not used to. So that's the first thing when it comes to that is just understanding that part. And everything that Lanika was saying, yeah, it's spot on. Like, find ways to reprogram yourself, find ways to try to work yourself through that moment. Because a phrase that we used to always use is Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary situation. And when you sit down and think about it, I had a conversation not too long ago with somebody. If you sit down and think about it, think about what I just said. Once you done it, once you complete it, there's no turning back. There's no coming back. This is not a video game. This is not, you don't get to reset. So understanding that what you're going through right now may change. It may not, may not change tomorrow, may not change a month from now, may not change 3 months from now, but it's gonna change. It's gonna be a point in time where you're gonna look back and like, damn, I almost ended it.
Yeah.
And if I would have ended it, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And like I'm gonna share this story. One of my soldiers, he attempted, and I told him, I was like, first of all, make sure he was straight and everything, blah 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 blah. And I told him, I said, now you have a story. Now you have a testimony because you went through a period of time where it was rough. Thankfully, you weren't able to complete it, but now you can say, hey, I went through that and came out on the other side. Yes, I made a mistake that almost cost me everything, but now hindsight 2020, it was a temporary situation.
Now, I used to work at a hospital, and I remember I met this lady who had attempted suicide, but of course she didn't die, but she ended up messing up her liver. I don't know how many attempts she had, but for whatever she took, she ended up having like some damages to her liver. I don't know if it was cirrhosis or what exactly she ended up having. And she would tell her story, and she was like, I was going through whatever she was going through. I forgot what it was exactly, but she was going through whatever. And she was like, that was a temporary thing. And I have permanent repercussions from that, because she's having to deal with the effects of, she attempted, did not die, and now she messed up her body. I don't know if that lady's still alive or not, but it's so hard. But things, we go through things in life. And I think the most important part about it, when you're having suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideations, you're feeling it, you may even be planning to do something, get some help. Because even if it's a thought, even if the situation that you're going through changes, your thoughts subside at that moment, you still need to go talk to somebody. Because if every time you have difficulty, that's your go-to, you need to find a new go-to. You need to find something. You need to heal, work towards changing the mindset. That's what therapy really is. Healing from whatever traumas, whatever happened in your life that made you feel the best solution is for me not to be here. To work on finding healthier solutions to healing whatever it is that you're going through, even if it passed. I broke up with somebody, let my life over, I'm ready to die. Okay, I'll give it a little time, I'm over that. But nevertheless, I was really thinking about dying. So I need to go talk to somebody to try to figure out, where does that come from? Why is that something that seems to be an okay thing? To even go there. Yeah, sometimes we might feel like death, but to actually have the thoughts of, I don't want to be here anymore because of the way that this feels or the circumstances, situation. Talk to somebody even when the feelings pass. It's always good to talk to somebody. And like DA said, it's okay to not be okay. If you had to poll, probably people could tell you they may have had thoughts. I'm certain you probably have 90% of people may have had the thought, it'd be better if I wasn't here. Man, if I just didn't wake up in the morning, it'd be okay. Are the thoughts intrusive? Are you thinking about them when you don't want to think about it? A lot of times the kids end up having intrusive thoughts where they really don't want to think about it, but it seems to be coming to them, and they get scared and they don't really know what to do. And, to have somewhere to go, somebody to talk to is important. It can definitely be very helpful to you. Very helpful.
Yeah, I want to thank y'all
In the comments from earlier, it said ice water and put question for anxiety because I heard you mention that too.
What that does, it grounds you. It can help ground you. You know, if you are in that panic state and your mind is going, that ice water kind of shocks your body to a degree, you know. Um, Inside your muscles are tensing up, and you put that water in there, it kind of helps to calm the nervous system a little bit, you know. So ice water, and that ain't gonna just cure. You know, people be looking for the quick fix cure, but it can help ground you along with doing other things. Maybe getting some aromatherapy type things, some lavender or something to help calm you. And if you focus on drinking, being mindful, drinking the water, how it feels going down and everything, it's not going to just clear the thoughts out, but it can help you get out of that spin that's going on and try to think about something more positive or focus even on what's just around you. If you don't want to try to think about whatever, think about the light, the colors. How many colors do I see in a room? Because it's shifting you from out of that tailspin and you're going in with those intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, one thing that I always go ahead, dear.
No, I was gonna say no, yeah, because I forgot. I totally forgot about that. About the ice water anxiety. It's just the analogy we used to use, well, I used in the military is, you ever like sprained your ankle and your ankle swell up and they tell you put ice on it? It's the same thing. It's basically you just doing it internally, trying to get your muscles and everything to relax and to get you, like she said, get you back centered, get you back balanced.
Gotcha. And I know me, I'm mindful about what I watch and what I listen to. If I'm not in a good headspace, I'm just mindful. I'll skip a song. I'm real self-aware in that space. I won't watch certain things. And also, what helps me a lot is certain like scents. I'm big on like incense and like certain sprays and stuff like that. But in particularly, it's one smell in particularly that always helps me. It's a rose scented like incense, and that right there is, it just helps me tremendously. You know.
Okay, yeah. And I think that if you start preparing now, people run into the thing. I talk to my kids every day. There, none of these coping skills, they don't help. Well, if you're in the midst of it, it probably won't. What you should do is practice. Gather those things. Like if you're on this call tonight and you know you have felt this way before, if you're feeling it right now, um, go get you some incense, get you some lavender, whatever, some different things you can. Get you some puzzles. Set some movies up. Well, they don't buy movies no more. Get you put a playlist together. I'm old. Look, I said, go to Blockbuster. Now, set your playlist together because certain, music for certain things can be helpful. Certain movies can be helpful. Even planning, like with the depression, look at some stuff, plan to go out, buy some tickets to something. I'm the type of person, if I don't spend my money, child, I'm going. And if I look at stuff, that's coming and I done got the ticket in advance, I am going. What is going on out there? If I don't have anybody to go with me, I'm gonna go by myself, type of thing. But I think the more you plan, you have a plan of action, you put some your toolkit, your treasure box, however you want to describe it, your analogy for it. This is my feel good kit. Even with journals, I used to name my journals. I put a title to them. I'm getting my shit together journal or whatever the case may be. And like you can create that atmosphere in your home if you have like a coffee shop or something you want to go to that's open 24 hours or something, a place that you can go. Sometimes even going to the gym. I know Planet Fitness is open. If you throw your music on, there'll be plenty days that may not going to Planet Fitness in the middle of the night. But I was talking to somebody who said, you know what, I couldn't sleep, so I just got up and went to the gym. If that's helpful to you, they got somebody in there at 3 a.m, somebody at the Planet Fitness. Put your headphones on, just walk on a treadmill, get on a bike or something if you don't feel like doing any weights or anything like that, and just breathe. just breathe. Exercise, we don't even talk about it, but exercise is really good for your moods, depression, or anything like that. If you can do some walking, working out, jump rope, hula hooping, anything, get moving, those endorphins, get that adrenaline up and just kind of move. And then what it really does, it takes your focus off of you and onto what you're doing. So planning, putting some things together, go to the store, go on Amazon, make your little list, put some stuff in your cart of things that you can get,
Not the wish list.
put it on your to buy list.
The wish list.
Go
Yeah, don't
find
buy
you
everything. Just put it on.
and get it like plan and get it already, and even before you get into or in between the moods, light the stuff up, like the incense, put the candles, let them burn, do whatever. Like if you practice these things when you're cool, when you're chilling, when you're good, when you get into that bad headspace, it'll be an automatic for you.
Yeah. And what you're talking.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
No. I thought you was done. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like if you try it when you're in the middle of a crisis, chances are it's not going to be as effective. But if you practice it beforehand, if you make a habit of journaling your feelings, when you do feel in the funk, you're more prone to be able to get that journal and sit down and just write and go to town. If you do the aromatherapy type stuff, just when you good, when you in that crisis, I know my go-to is to go get that aromatherapy, turn the thing on, or whatever the case may be.
That's good. For me, because I am a creature of habit, and what we're talking about is the preventative maintenance. So if you're already in the habit, start those habits now. Then, if you do happen to get into, a semi-bad headspace, it's easier to pull yourself out or not to go so deep. So yeah, I love the preventative aspects that you mentioned. Thank you very much for those. Yeah. DK, what you got, man? DA, you got anything?
Definitely. I think a lot of time when we're in those spaces, one of the things we do forget to is to breathe. Breathing brings us back. It calms. It can bring you back into that good space versus you going on down the rabbit hole to the bad space. And I know that's one of the things that I tend to forget to do myself, especially when I'm at work and I'm caught up and busy and I'm moving even in the midst of stress. That's one of the things that I do forget to do. So recently I actually purchased myself a stress whistle to remind me to remember to take my breaths and breathe. And I wear that mug around my neck now.
Oh, you talking about
What
that
it
little dog
do?
whistle thing you got? That little dog
Yeah,
whistle?
that one. Yeah.
Okay, you just blow it. If you blow into it whenever you're feeling
Get
stressed.
your breathing back regular. Yeah, get your breathing back regulated. Yeah.
It's an app.
Okay.
It's an app that I used to have that
Yeah.
it'll ring a bell at random times to trigger you to like take that moment. What it was a mindfulness bell. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. The
you would just
mindfulness
it'll take
app.
you. Yeah, you have to just stop whatever you're doing and just be in the moment, breathe, and then go back. And man, when I tell you that shit works wonders.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
unless it's like
see,
you in a meeting and it be going off and then people looking around like what the hell that is.
that's why they need to bring smoke breaks back at work. Not for you to smoke, not for you to smoke. But if you think about it, back in the if you as old as I am, and you remember when they used to have people go on the job and smoke, they had smoke breaks. I think it was like what 10, 15, and 2:15.
Yep.
I'd be out there chewing bubble gum. I didn't ever smoke, but you would take a break from your job. You would
Mhm.
have to go outside, and guess what you're
Yep.
doing? You're really breathing, although you inhaling that nicotine and all that other stuff in there. You're breathing. You're outside. You're in the nature, the wind blowing, the sun out, whatever the case may be, and you're breathing. You actually took a break to
Yep.
You
breathe.
unplug.
And I wish that they could have the break. I don't know, I'm trying to, they don't give us no breaks, but you can take that break
Yeah.
to be able to just breathe. Go step outside and just breathe. With 10 minutes, breathe. you know, and go back and do what you're doing. And then you got your other break. And then when you get home, practice that too. Like, you know, even though that might be your routine at work, at home, take that time, the apps, the whatever the case may be that you use that lets you know I need to stop and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Okay.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Definitely good stuff. Definitely. Y'all got anything else? Any questions? Anything else y'all wanna more knowledge y'all wanna drop?
Well, I know there is one thing I looked up as well. Although we are focusing on ourselves when it comes to the seasonal depression, the seasonal affective disorder, during the winter seasons as well, we need to be mindful of the crime rate that goes up during this time. So being able to protect ourselves. And another thing that happens, which I believe next month, October, is domestic violence awareness. Domestic violence or intimate partner violence incidents are higher during the winter months. So I think if you are, what typically is probably happening, the person is feeling all of those things and they have a partner and they taking it out on the partner. So just being mindful of that. If you're with someone, if you're dating, married, whatever the case may be, and you are irritated and you got all this other stuff beating them, it's not gonna resolve your issues. Same help we talking about getting. If you know by yourself, you will get so you don't beat nobody that you with, so you don't take that out on your partner. But that's a whole deeper subject. But just being mindful of those things. You know, people are going through something, and everyone's response to the depression is not always internal. It could be external. They project it on people. Drugs and alcohol, that's bad coping strategies they have. We think it's just the holidays, people are drinking more. No, it's they coping. That's their coping strategy. People just being impulsive and doing all sorts of things, you know, destroying people's stuff because they're hurting. And so being mindful of those things, if you feel like you're projecting your feelings onto other people, go talk to somebody. Definitely find somebody to talk to.
Yeah. And also too, to add to that too, be aware, because again, like she said, this is a season where all that crime and everything goes up. But also, what's around the corner? Thanksgiving. Then what's next? Christmas. This is a time when people, I hate to say it, we try to make up for the entire year of not being the best person that we were, and start splurging when it comes to money, start buying gifts that we really shouldn't. Basically extending ourselves beyond what we can what we can what we can deal with. And that creates unnecessary stress, because what happens in January? That motherfucking credit card due. That motherfucker,
Yeah.
yeah, all the
Yeah.
extra time you did between Thanksgiving and Christmas, all that extra spending you did between Thanksgiving and Christmas, them bills gonna come. And so that's additional stress. So just be mindful around this time. Just don't get so wrapped up into the materialistic stuff. Let's get wrapped up into the mental, the intimate stuff. Like just being around people that you care about, just having conversations with people that you care about.
Yeah, love
I
that.
like that. Thank you for that. I
Yes,
think
sir.
that's very important. It's that preparation before we to hopefully avoid even going down that road during the times. And of course, we also know even during that time, Thanksgiving and stuff like that, that's also usually family and those that may be estranged from their family or vice versa. That can be a hard time as well to deal with.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I
definitely
definitely agree.
mindful. Yeah, definitely mindful of those things. So yeah, definitely. Da, you want to do your outro?
Yeah, I can. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be down. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay not to smile. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel pain. Just remember, anything that you're going through, it's okay. All right, it's okay, and it will be okay. So keep your head up. If you got to nod your head to pray, nod your head to cry, do it. But it will be okay.
Love that. All right.
Well,
TJ.
amen. Um, yeah, most of the time we go through things and we deal with things that we don't have to. 9 times out of 10 is because we try to conform ourselves into into a version of ourselves that someone else thinks that we should be, or we try to put ourselves in this box. I mean, I want to encourage you all to just do you, love you, be authentically yourself. If wearing a certain color or whatever makes you feel good, then wear that color. If walking a certain way makes you feel amazing, then walk that walk. Stop trying to conform yourself into other people's perception of you. Be you, love on yourself, and however that looks. And however that looks. And that's all I got. And I am adopting that philosophy myself. That's why I'm pressing it.
All right, Nonika.
I think that was pretty doggone good. Be who you are. A lot of times we get depressed because we're not who we once were. We're trying to live in the past, but be in the present. You can create a new person and be who you are, and that's just fine. I think that you always have the slogan, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to feel everything that you're feeling, and it is okay to get help for how you're feeling. It's okay if you are feeling these ways and you don't know how to get out, to get help to be able to get out. There's a lot of resources that are out there. A lot of different groups. If you need some help, we have resources here. Contact me. I'm available. If you, hey, I'm trying to find XYZ, I'll help you find it if I don't already have something. Or I'll even create it for you sometimes, depending on if I got time, child. You need this kind of support group with this particular aspect, and they don't have none. Let's see if I can get you one. That's really how my trauma and grief group started. Somebody was asking me about it because their son committed suicide. And I said, well, if we don't have one, I'll start one. That's how I got it. But this is a time of the year that you might be feeling fine and then you find yourself declining. And guess what? It's okay. Educate yourself. There's tons of videos on YouTube. Watch this podcast. There's always something about mental health going on here. That's what I can truly appreciate about it. Educate yourself. Knowledge is power. The more empowered you are, the more self-aware you are, the better it is to help you get through difficult times when they come and as they come. So I just thank y'all for having me again. This is a great topic to be able to discuss, especially in our communities of color where we don't really talk about it.
We love you and we look forward to having you.
Thank you, Kylie. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
She
you.
knows she stuck with us. Like you
I
stuck.
know, right? That's why I said next month we'll talk about that stuff.
Yep, definitely that. So I just want to reiterate, Larnika has free therapy and group sessions, free 99. If you
Yep.
need something, definitely follow her on Facebook, just as her name is on there. She has stuff going on. Do you have a grief session this month?
Yes, on the 24th, that last Tuesday, I have Coach Sharonda Barksdale. She is my shadow work coach. She is awesome. She's gonna pour into us. She got some good stuff that's coming. That is 6:30 p.m. I gave her 15 extra minutes, so 6:30 to 6:45. And it's free. All you gotta do is join us, sign up. I'm gonna send you the Zoom link, and it's free. All of my support groups are free. I'm trying to get some corporate sponsors, child. We trying to do some things. That's why you might see a few more alphabets follow me or some logos follow me. That's because I'm trying to get the folk with the money to
Gotcha.
help us, so I can pour that back into the community. That's what I'm trying to do. Definitely,
it.
I don't want mental health to be a barrier for people who truly need it and may not be able to afford it. That's why I put it out there for free. I have some college interns that are offering free therapy. So I mean, now you have to be in the state of Texas because we ain't gonna get in trouble. But it's free, like it's absolutely free. I focus on marketing to teenagers because I know that's the underserved population. You don't have too many. I don't know. People scared of kids. I don't understand it, but they don't have a lot available for teens. They can be a challenging group, but nevertheless, they're the most vulnerable group because they don't have a lot of resources for them outside of school, and sometimes in the schools, child. So mental health resources, services, it's right at your fingertips, child. If you want it, you can get it. If you need to find out how to get it, hit me up. I'll show you. I'll let you know.
Yep, that
Love it.
definitely use your resources. I even attend her grief counseling sessions.
Come
So
on, girl.
hey, I be in there. I see that little thing come up, I'm gonna submit it. So yeah, I even attend those also, and she has very good speakers. Some people that will even blow your mind, and you be sitting there like, how she? Yeah,
I have a veteran coming. This I have Sharonda Barksdale, shadow work coach this month. Next month, Melissa Jackson. She's an advocate for the blind. And then I have Yolanda Hickman. She's I don't want to say was she in the army. She's a veteran. She's a veteran. So in November, she'll be talking about her experiences and with trauma and how she coped, her healing process. So yeah, I try to get people out there from the community because I want people that we know, like any everyday person. Some people may look at me. I try to be just as average is because I am who I am. But some people may think, oh, well, you're the therapist. Child, I'm just like everybody else and have all my stuff. But I want people to see that everybody goes through something. It doesn't matter who, what, and that we can heal. Anybody can heal. You just have to put your mind to it and have the resources and not be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
definitely that.
I want to
Definitely.
say, I love what you both are doing. DA, man, my brother, man, I appreciate everything that you've done. Thank you for your service, all the servicemen and women that you've helped out and that you still help out, the kids that you coach, the school, all of that. And Arnika, I appreciate you and all your resources. And I'm not just saying that. Like, I appreciate you both. Keep doing the work. That's it for me, TK.
Okay. Yes, definitely love it and very much appreciate both of y'all. Because one of the things that if people say is limited is us in the mental health area. So it's a little scarce. So definitely appreciate y'all. Definitely appreciate you, Larnika, for offering free services because, like you said, a lot of things people have a hard time finding it, don't find it, can't afford it, or whatever, and they're around here just straight suffering. So that is definitely huge. And I've seen all your newbies coming in. I'm loving to
Yes.
see it. You got a nice collection that you didn't added lately too. So I'm loving seeing the
Amen.
young people coming in and joining in on this mental health journey, and that's a great asset. I definitely love seeing it. Um, but as everybody said, use your resources. Get you a safety plan. Have you a person, and the 988 number is there across the screen. Remember that just in case if your safety person is busy or hell going through their own shit. Because let me tell you, that damn retrograde that just ended was a
Ooh,
mother.
Jesus.
That was a
Have mercy.
bald head snagger tooth mother. Ooh,
Amen.
that sucker was. Ooh, ooh. It wasn't no joke, man. Let me
That
tell
Mercury
you,
retrograde need to go to jail. Because
baby, it
if
was
the
out.
past didn't show up, some hidden past, I'm like, what in the hell? I
Ooh,
ain't thought about this.
Mm.
it was
That's
out
these
of
people.
line. It was disrespectful. It shook some people. The mask fell off of a lot of people, so you was able to
Ooh.
see who people really were. Like it was. It didn't leave no crumbs. Not one fracking crumb. I was like, damn, what is going
Mm-mm.
on here?
Have
So
mercy.
some of us still trying to recover from that. And then I think we got another one starting with, ain't it October, something like that. We ain't getting too much of no break, but definitely use your resources. This is not the only episode that we have dealing with mental health. You can always go back in our archive and check those out, because we try to do it at least a couple of times a year, because hey, it's something that's not going away, and it's also something that's not very much talked about in the Black community, and a lot of us need that support. A lot of us is going through a healing journey due to trauma and past situations. So we have those topics on here too. So please feel free and go back and watch those as well. But definitely don't be afraid to ask for help. Maybe who you ask, but don't be afraid to ask for help. So on that note, we thank y'all. We love and appreciate y'all support as always for tuning in and rocking with us. Shoot, we've been doing this, what, 3 years now? Woo, Lord, 3.5, Lord. So we appreciate it. The time and energy that everybody puts in to like, sharing, subscribing, everything. It ain't easy work, but hey, we have a heart for it to do it. So definitely be safe, and we will see y'all on next week. Next week's topic will be on PCOS. We have a nurse that's coming that will be on the show to come talk to us about that. So I'm excited about that episode as well, because we have never had this topic before. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, because, you know, a lot of times you hear the negative about a lot of women that are going through PCOS, but people don't understand what it is as well as what women go through. And I think this would be a very great eye opener to that situation. So again, be safe. We are here. Holla, need somebody to talk to, or we could direct you to somebody. But definitely please remember to follow Larnika. She is on IG as well as Facebook. And on that note, we are out. Be blessed.
Yeah, what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please, none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this. Don't talk about it.